What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. Mike Trout is so back, knock on wood, so I don't jinx it. The Halos went back to back to back yesterday. Phillies fans have been wanting a Mike Trout trade for years, but they're having to settle for other guys like an Adolis Garcia, who might have just thrown the outfield assist of the decade. We have some drama out in Houston. Tatsuya Amai, their brand new Japanese ace, said that he hasn't been able to adjust to American baseball or the lifestyle of Americans, and then the GM called out his own ace. What is going on? Mind you, all of this while they're on an 8-game losing streak. We have players flipping off fans, although that fan 1000% deserved it. We just don't need people like that around. Just get them away. More fan talk. The Milwaukee manager called out his own fans for booing their closer. Jordan Walker has been getting so much shine, but the Cardinals' second baseman, he might be the second coming of Dustin Pedroia. We got to talk about him. Speaking of like the next Pedroia or the next something, the next Randy Johnson might be here. The 6'10" Noah Schultz is making his debut. If you're new here, I'm on a mission to grow the game of baseball every single day by recapping every MLB game and not missing a single one. So if that sounds fun, join the movement and hit that subscribe button. And as always, don't forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off all of your tickets. And if you want to make sports a little bit more interesting to watch and put your ball knowledge to the test at the same time, Underdog Fantasy has your back. They're going to hook you guys up with a free pick, 50 bucks, and a few boosts as well. All you have to do is scan that QR code or download with code Fuzzy. You're welcome. I'm not joking when I say that every team in baseball needs to invest in the red light therapy machine that Mike Trout picked up in the offseason, because he's back. He is launching home run after home run after home run. Even Aaron Judge is fully enjoying the Mike Trout experience. Him being back and healthy is so good for baseball. He has 3 home runs and 6 RBIs his last 2 games. He's on pace for his 4th 40 home run season, which, by the way, he's the same guy who has 3 seasons of 30-plus stolen bases. He's the GOAT. Okay, obviously he's been passed a little bit by Ohtani and maybe Judge, but the Halos, they're now going back to back. Joe Adell, he took out his driver and just kind of golfed that pitch out. Jorge Soler, he's up. Again, I thought he was going to get suspended, like the appeal, but he's back in there, and we have back to back home runs. All 3 were absolutely smoked. Soler has 5 home runs. Weathers, he's coming off an 8 shutout performance. Now he's allowing 3 home runs in the first inning. And Moncada, what a play to rob the captain. The Angels are feeling themselves. And honestly, I felt like the Yankees were going to be on a Moncada, but I guess not. Now the Angels are just being mean. Oswald, his return to the Bronx was a fun one. He went 3 for 3, his first game back in the Bronx, and he does that. He has 3 home runs on the season now with awesome defense. Reed Detmers was spamming that changeup all afternoon. He went 5 scoreless and racked up 7 strikeouts. I mean, look at the break on that thing, just making Yankees hitters just flat out guess. Moncada, not only was he good with the glove, but he had a 2-run single to really blow the doors open on this game, and we're going to get back to Moncada in a second. Reed carved up Goldie and Judge in the 6th inning. He's at 9 strikeouts. He ended up going 7. Neto helped him out with the web gem. He had a 1-2-3 7th inning with no walks. He did allow a run in the 8th, but Moncada's the story now. He's going yard. He has 2 base hits in 3 of his last 4 games with an almost 360 on-base percentage. Judge, I want to show this to my Yankees fans because he had another extra base hit. It didn't mean anything. The Halos, they win big, 7-1. All right, now we got Trouty's old buddy and his new team, talking about Ohtani and the Dodgers, going up against the other New York team. The Mets are in desperate need of a W because they've lost 6 in a row, and it's not going to be easy with Yamamoto on the bump. Lindor, he's finally on the board, not just with his first home run, but this feels impossible to say out loud. Francisco Lindor just collected his first RBI of the season. That's got to feel like a huge weight off his shoulders. Freddie, he had a slow roller RBI, ground out to tie it. So again, it's neck and neck, 1-1. That's when McClain and Yamamoto settled in as best as really anyone in baseball. Yamamoto at one point set down 20 consecutive Mets, and McClain, I mean, he's making future Hall of Famers look silly. They both combined for 15 strikeouts. Nolan had 8 and only 2 base hits allowed. Yoshi had 7 strikeouts over 7 2/3. Blake Trainer ended up bailing out Yamamoto in the 8th inning, so way later in the game, he froze Luis with 2 on in the 8th. Ohtani, he got walked, so he was hitless, wasn't on base. His streak now extends to 48 games getting on base, and they wanted to face Tucker lefty-lefty, but it didn't work. Kyle Tucker, he chipped it into left field. He finally did something productive. Alex Vesia is in because Edwin Diaz, he's not on the IL. He's been experiencing lower velocity, so maybe they're just easing him into the rest of the season. Vesia and his wife, they brought a bunch of healthcare workers who were with them on their journey with Sterling, who was their daughter, who they unfortunately lost. He had a 1-2-3 9th inning save. He strikes out Alvarez. The Dodgers are 13-4. The Mets do lose their 7th in a row. They've scored a grand total of 8 runs over the last week. We're going to get to the Astros in a second to see if they can snap their massive L streak, but because we just showed the worst offense in baseball the last week and a team with the most wins in the NL, what about a team that has scored the most runs in baseball the last week who also has the most wins in their league? The Twins have been a wagon. Right now, they have the best offense and record in the American League. Luke Keeschel, he had an RBI after a replay showed that Buxton was in fact safe, so no doubt about this next swing. He's for sure safe in this next clip. A second deck home run. So Buxton has back-to-back games with the home run, extending his record for the most home runs ever hit by a player in Target Field. Brooks Lee, I mean, we have to come up with the nickname for this kid. I have no words. We need a nickname right now. Let me know in the comments. Brooks Lee has 3 home runs and 8 RBIs during his 6-game hitting streak. And he also ended that swing with like a subtle bat drop. That was smooth. Just like in that Yankees game and Moncada opening up with the 2-run base knock, Larnach did the same thing. 2 more versus Sonny Gray. He has 5 RBIs his last 3 games. Talking about Trevor Larnach. Buxton, I mean, he basically went 440 feet. Let's just round up. He had a 4-hit day. He had an 80 OPS plus from 2015 to 2018, was labeled a bust. He has a 130 OPS plus since 2019. The Minnesota trades from last year, like at the deadline, getting Taj Bradley and Mick Abel, they're proving that that was an amazing idea because this was maybe the best start by any Twin this year. Abel, he blanked the Red Sox over 7. He didn't walk anyone and picks up his first double-digit strikeout performance. He also has yet to give up a single home run this year, knocking on wood so I don't jinx him. The Twins, they're 11-7 with the best record in the American League. And on the other hand, Boston, they dropped to 6-11, but we got to talk about the Red Sox for just a few more seconds. In that game, Jarren Duran grounded out, and as he crossed first and was heading back to his dugout, a fan told him to be 6 feet under, like to not be around anymore, and Jarren obviously gave him the bird. After the game, Jarren said exactly that the fan said something that you should never say to another human, and then he went on to say that he regrets opening up about his mental health struggles because he said that it has brought out the trolls, and he gets told to be 6 feet under like every other game. And I'm gonna say this right now, men, do not fall back because other dudes want to be weird and try and make fun of you for being open about your mental health struggles. It's perfectly okay to do so, and anyone else who says otherwise is just an idiot. So just wanted to say that if you think that mental health isn't important and you want to make fun of it, leave this channel. Peace. We don't want you here. I got a good question. Why are the Astros playing the Rockies all over? Like, they just played each other, and the Astros, they're gonna try and get some payback because they got swept by the Rockies, and the Rockies were the one that started the wretched 8-game losing streak for the Astros. And if you're an Astros fan, this is not good, man. Hunter Goodman, he got one to sail out. That's his 3rd of the season. He has 34 home runs over his last 161 games. He's a stud. He's a problem. McCarthy, he can fly. Jake, he's going to for sure want 3 bases, and he gets it with a 2-run triple. The Rockies want to send the Astros to a 9-game losing streak and win 4 in a row against them. Okay, nice to get 1 on the board. Christian Walker, he's been so much better to begin 2026. He was one of the worst players in baseball last year when he first joined the Astros. Jordan, we are tied up at 3. A brand new ball game. He hooked it down the right field line. That is a 2-run extra base hit. Walker, he's about to tap one. And I thought that Jordan was going to kind of break out a cool, fun slide. He said, nah, I'm going full steam ahead. Don't need a slide. It is 4-3. Cam Smith, this dude, he has so much talent. He makes it 5-3 on an RBI single. He has 7 extra base hits, 7 RBIs. He's a perfect 3 for 3 in stolen base attempts, and he leads the league with 4 outs above average on defense. Loper Fido, more like Roper Fido. Joey, he roped an RBI knock. The Astros, they hit around in this inning. That's Vasquez's 2nd hit of the inning. It is now 7-3 Houston. But here comes the Rockies. The Rockies are about to start rocking. Jordan Beck, he's got some pretty fun tools as well. That's his 1st home run. And Goodman, his 2nd of the game. He's had a pretty young career so far. That's his 6th multi-home run game already. He now has 35 home runs and 98 RBIs his last 161 games. The Astros, they need Hader bad because the Rockies are now within 1. Troy Johnston made it 7-6 with a ripper up the middle. Aniel De Los Santos, who used to be a Guardian, he really stressed me out. He's now trying to get the save. 2 are on for Jordan Beck. He got strike 3. Ball game. The Astros' 8-game losing streak has been snapped. So the Astros finally snapped their streak, but we're not done talking about them, as Tatsuya Omai, who got 3 years, $54 million as he's coming overseas from Japan, he's on the IL right now with arm fatigue, and he came out and said, I mean, he was as honest as I've ever heard a player. He said he's not been able to adjust to American lifestyles, both with baseball and outside of baseball. And his interpreter literally said that's probably the reason why he has arm fatigue. He doesn't have a routine. He doesn't have his friends or family or anything that he's really loved coming up as an adult. I mean, he's got nothing. So this is this is a development that we have to pay attention to if Amai just doesn't have the merits to withstand Major League Baseball. And then if that wasn't bad enough, now we have the GM of the Astros calling out kind of his own ace, Hunter Brown, the Diesel. So Dana Brown, there's no relation, by the way. He said that Hunter Brown throwing gas in spring basically wasn't smart. This is what he said. He said, I found it fascinating that he was throwing 96 to 98 in spring training. I would have liked to see a little slower buildup. He was fired up. I would attribute it more, talking about Hunter Brown's shoulder injury, to maybe throwing too hard too soon. That's always a concern. You don't want guys in the first few weeks just gunning it before they get built up. Something like that. Maybe 95, 96. So I don't understand how you can say that as a GM. You want your starting pitcher ace to be throwing 94, 95 and dialing it back in spring. Hunter Brown kind of said the same thing. He said, any speculation is warranted when you get injured, but my job in spring training is to get ready for the season. I did nothing different this spring training than I have in others. So we have Hunter basically saying, I'm going to throw 97 to 98 in spring. That's not even my hardest, and I'm going to get ready for the season. And then the GM is saying, you probably shouldn't have done that. I want you to dial it back to like mid-90s. I don't understand that. Spring training is for exactly that, getting prepared. He's not throwing 99 on every single pitch. He's not throwing 90 pitches every start. What are we doing, Astros? Like, Dana Brown, get it together, buddy. Stop calling out your best pitcher. Guys, I gotta show you one of the most impressive displays of offense I've ever seen from a rookie. Like, no BS. The Cardinals have a monster on their hands, and we're not even talking about Jordan Walker. Now, we know that J-Ram, he's been impressing folks for over a decade. He had another game with a home run and a stolen base. He has 3 home runs, and he's a perfect 8 for 8 in stolen base attempts. Ivan Herrera, man, this dude just does not miss very often against lefties. That's his first of the season. We have another first, Schneemann. He just hit a big boy home run. He has a 130 OPS plus, and he's also got 6 doubles, so 7 extra base hits. I like what I'm seeing, but I was hinting at this kid. Look at this cut. That was a fastball inside, and JJ Weatherholt, we call him Weather Bolt, he just powered it out lefty. Now we're gonna breeze through the Guardians 3-run 8th inning because they blew this game in the most annoying way. Like, I was so mad at the end of this game. So Valera, happy that he's back, cool RBI, and Angel Martinez might actually be insane. He has a 153 OPS plus and never strikes out. That's a 2-run double. By the way, the hard hit percentages are way up, but this swing right here is the stuff of legends. Eric Sabrowski, the lefty, came into this game with the 0 ERA and literally deletes lefties from the face of the earth. And JJ the Jet Plane went oppo, his first multi-home run game. He's 5'8" with insane raw power. He also has Cam Smith beat with 5 outs above average, so I lied. JJ is leading in outs above average. He is a megastar in the making, and with 2 outs, like, I was so mad. Juan Brito, the rookie, miffed the 3rd out, like, book it, go back to the hotel, game's over, save for Kate Smith. Then Kate Smith threw a wild pitch. Yoel Pozo hit a rocket to the right center gap that plated Mason Wynn. I didn't even watch the rest of the game. I was so mad. I just went into the jacuzzi and, like, frick that game. And, oh, nice, I didn't see it. So David Fry stinks at blocking, and Church lofted it. It was a strong throw from Angel. Sorry, Cardinals fans. I should be like, yeah, your team. I'm being a little bit biased. I'm sorry. The Cardinals are 9-8. And the Guardians are 10, like, what a miserable way to end that game. What the... Anyways, JJ Weatherholt, he's insane. This is a fun sentence. The next Randy Johnson is making his debut right after this next game, because I have to recap the Nationals and Pirates game because it features 2 guys on pace for 40-40 seasons. Well, one's on pace for a 57-38. The other's on pace for a 48-67. Brady House, he's not either of them, but he got the Nationals up 1. Dalen Lyle, he's on a 5-game hitting streak, and don't forget that he was the best hitter in baseball to end 2025. He had 16 extra base hits and 19 RBIs with an almost 400 batting average his final 26 games. CJ Abrams, he is one of those guys we were hinting at. That's his 18th RBI, and hold on, we have more insane pacing to talk about because Brandon Lau, he cleared the deck for the 7th time. He's on pace for 67 home runs, and he's doing this as a second baseman. CJ, he's insane just as an offensive player for a shortstop, which is, I mean, these guys are not typical middle infielders. CJ Abrams, I hate to kind of call him out, his defense sucks, but like when you have 6 home runs, 19 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, and 21 hits already, you're going to forgive a ton of the miscues on defense. He's on pace for 57 home runs, 181 RBIs, and 38 stolen bases. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Luis Garcia Jr., he had a 2-out RBI, and that was the biggest run of the day because, look, Marcell Ozuna, the Big Bear, I love this. The broadcast said he might be out of hibernation. That was a fun call. It's now 5-3 on a Nicky Gonzalez RBI, so he has 8 on the season, and you see why the 5th run was so key. Joey Bart darts are back. I think it actually ticked off of Lyle's glove, but it does go into the bleachers. The Pirates, They now have the bases loaded in the 7th. Nick York, he can smash, but he hit one to the wrong guy. Nazem Nunez, he is such a slick defender. Staying with slick defenders, we know that Jake Mangum, he can play some wicked defense as well. He just unleashed a seed to home plate. No bounce required. I know it had some kind of height to it. It was kind of rainbowy, but look at the placement. You cannot get more perfect than that. Gus Varlin, he converts the saves to the Pirates. They're stuck at 10-7, which is still awesome. The Nationals are 8-9. More than half the league is either hovering around 500 or above, which is kind of cool. All right, here we go. Tampa Bay's facing the next Randy Johnson. If the Rays win here, they'll be in first place in the East. Schultz, he's making his debut. He's the 6'10" behemoth. He has a devastating slider. He throws 99 plus from the side, kind of. He won the AA Pitcher of the Year award in 2024, but the nerves are getting to him. He had back-to-back walks, and those walks are already hurting. Ryan Valade, he had an RBI double, and Ben Williamson, he's about to break out some small ball against the rookie. Schultz spiked the throw, and another run is going to score on the air. So it's 3 runs in the first, and he finally ended it with his first career strikeout with 98 miles an hour. Williamson, he's about to collect his second RBI, an RBI double, so it's a 4 spot against Noah Schultz in his debut. Shane McClanahan, he's still trying to figure it out. He's missed a bunch of time. He walked a ton. Free passes to Chase, Mooney, and welcome back Everson Pereira. His first game off the IL, his second home run. Noah, I'm going to tip my cap. He battled and battled. He ended his night with his 4th strikeout. That's a nasty slider. And then he got a standing ovation. Now it's still 4-3 in the bottom of the 6th. That's when Nick Fortes and Yandy decided it was time to change that. So Fortes had an excuse me 2-out swinging bunt RBI. Yandy, he sent it back where it came from. We have more RBIs. The next 2 are going to be extra base hits, though. Williamson, kind of deja vu. He doubled in Valade again. And then Johnny DeLuca, he laced a RBI double as well. The White Sox, this was a super fun moment, and it was the last big moment for either team. Munitaka was 1 for his last 26. Now he's 2 for his last 27. He is tops in all of the raw stuff like exit velocities, barrels, hard hit percentages, walk rates as well, but he's striking out almost 32% of the time, but we knew that. Brian Baker, he's cool with it because now it's a save opportunity. He gets his 3rd of the season. The Rays are in first place. Everything I just said could be a lie if Baltimore beats the Diamondbacks, because then they'll be in first place. Not that the standings really matter, it's still early, but it's fun to talk about. Merrill Kelly, he's back. He's making a season debut, and Samuel Basallo was happy to see him back. What a cut. How far is this ball going? 431 feet. My God, he's still just 21 years old. What were you guys doing at 21? Merrill had a rare kind of lack of command start. He allowed 3 walks in 1 inning. Leota even took a walk with the bases loaded, but now Merrill has the lead because Ildemaro Vargas is having an insane week. He just hit an impossible home run. I'm not joking. That's the first home run that Trevor Rogers has allowed at home since he was a Marlin. Geraldo Perdomo, he's trying to work his magic. He got on. He just stole his 2nd base of the game, and Jose Fernandez, the rookie, he crushed a ball deep, way deep. He missed the home run by a couple of inches. Leote, he's about to drive in his 2nd run, so it's 4-3. There are runners on the corners. The Snakes, they're kind of panicking. They bring in Ryan Thompson against JJ, not JJ Wetherell, Jeremiah Jackson. We've seen this movie before. He's already hit a grand slam in the last 24 hours. There was a do-or-die play, and they make it happen. Paul Sewald, he then converted his 6th save. The Diamondbacks are another team in the 10-win club. The Orioles are 9-8, so yep, the Rays, they stay in first place. More 10s coming up. The Cubs score 10, and Adolis Garcia might have thrown a baseball 10 million miles an hour. Not before Edmundo Sosa hit a baseball very far. Marshy and Romuto singled ahead of Edmundo, and I mean, this is just crazy pop, an off-speed pitch that he mashed 431 feet on a towering 3-run blast. Like I said, though, the Cubs, they scored 10. Nico, he drove in the first RBI of the day for the Cubs, and Michael Busch, he scored one through the hole between first and second base, but Adolis Garcia literally had a snap throw. That is one of the greatest outfield assists in the history of baseball. I'm not even being dramatic. That was insane. Ian Happ, just like Jose Fernandez in that last game, missed the home run by maybe an inch or 2, so it's a 1-run game. Now we're starting over because it's 3-3 on an Alex Bregman single. We're going to go to the 6th inning. It should have been maybe an inning-ending double play, but Bryson, maybe he took his eye off for a split second with PCA barreling in, so he whiffed the out. The bases are loaded for Nico, who keeps beating Bryson for the Gold Glove, and now Nico is hitting 2-run laser beams to center field. Bregman, he's about to secure a 3 RBI day with 2 more RBIs. Colin Ray of the Cubs, he set down 16 of the final 17 hitters that he faced after that home run, and he kept them in the game until the offense broke out. Carson Kelly, he's been breaking out. He broke the sound barrier on the swing. It was a loud home run. He has 18 home runs, a near 130 OPS plus, and a 4 wins above replacement his last 126 game, which is insane. Both teams are 8-9. Earlier, we saw the Twins rattle off their 4th straight win. The Tigers also have 4 in their sights. Framber is on the bump versus Cole Reagan, so a fun lefty-lefty matchup, but the Royals, their offense is not clicking. Framber had an early jam, and as you can see, they just cannot get base hits with runners in scoring position. Yeah, they get one, but just one, and it stayed that way for an hour. Bobby Witt Jr. was a big reason why, because I think there's maybe 1 or 2 shortstops in baseball who can make this grab. Maybe Ellie because he's fast and tall. A couple other guys like maybe Jeremy Pena. Cole Reagan's had a very anti-Reagan start. He walked a bunch, but he only had 1 strikeout and just 1 base hit. Framber also only had 1 strikeout, but he went 7 strong. It's 1-0 for Will Vest in the 8th. He struck out the side. He looked nasty. Bobby, he's about to save his pitching staff again. Colt Keith, he had a liner with the runner on third base, and Bobby just dolphin dived. He made the grab. Kevin McGonigal, he has a chance now. Salvi, Kevin doesn't have to do anything because he blocked it, yeah, but it deflected too far. McKinstry zoomed in. What a great read. Now the professor, Kevin McGonigal, is walking, and Dylan Dingler, he has a lot of L's in his name, but he will not be taking another L. A screamer past the Gold Glover, Michael Garcia. McGonigal flew home, so this sets up history for Kenley Jansen. He can officially have sole possession of the 3rd most saves ever. Javi Baez, he galloped in center field, so yeah, that is 479 saves. He's only behind Jeff Hoffman and Mariano Rivera. That is some insane company. The Tigers do win their 4th in a row. We have 2 more 2-1 box scores coming up, then we have some high-scoring games. Brandon Nimmo has been so good for the Rangers. He has 8 extra base hits and an almost 400 on base. Marcus Semien, never mind. Jake Berger, he has 12 RBIs. He's finally proving the Rangers right for trading for him. I think it was 2 years ago. Andrew McCutchen, hey buddy, I got an idea for you. Just don't go up the middle next time if you're facing the A's, because Jay Willie and Denzel are out there. Jay Willie with a 360 no scope. Now I need a Jacob Wilson hot streak on offense. We're gonna have Clark's web gem in a second, but Gore is currently folding. 2 are on after a shave walk. Now Kurtz is taking a walk. Wait, Jacob's up. There's the hot streak. A 2 RBI rocket ground ball. It is 2-1, and obviously that's it for the scoring. McCutchen tried his best to get it going, but the A's defense would just not allow it. Clark, he ran it down at the wall. He is special out there. Springs, he's been special. Only 3 base hits. He had 5 strikeouts over almost 7 innings. He's 3-0 with a 1.40 ERA. Mark Leiter picked up another save. The A's are 9-8, so they're actually tied for first place with the Rangers. Robbie Ray, I haven't said this in a while. He was Robbie Ray gun early on. He struck out the side in the second, so he was well on his way to the third did not start the same way. The man who rakes tagged him. Spencer Steer now has 3 home runs. He's heating up lately. The Red Sea just opened again. Sal Stewart, Salbert Pujols, Aramis Jr., whatever you want to call Sal Stewart, he flat out rakes. He's up to 5 home runs with a .310 batting average. Willie Adames, his no-doubters are so entertaining. He leaned back on it and just watched it and then unleashed a wicked bat flip. That was crazy. Brady Singer, he had an assist with his own ankle, so he had to come out the game because of it, but at least he got the out. And then the Reds bullpen picked him up all the way through. Graham Ashcraft, he has 13 strikeouts in 9 innings. He's been awesome. Santione took care of the 8th, and Emilio Pagan worked the 9th for his 5th save, but somehow during that save, he hurt his hamstring, so he might be missing some time. The Giants, yikes, they're 6-11. The Reds are 10-7, and I love the way that they end games as outfielders. The little Spider-Man point meme, that's fun. I don't know how anyone is going to stop this Marlins offense. They are seriously really good. They hit the gaps. They steal bases. It's already 1-0 on an Augustine Ramirez sac fly. Marcy stole his 8th bag and scored on that sac fly. Connor Norby, he's also seeing beach balls. It's crazy how much of a difference teams are when a top prospect ends up breaking out. Brooks Lee right now for the Twins. Connor Norby lately for the Marlins. Sanoha, he's not a top prospect, but he just stole the 3rd base of the game for the Marlins, and Graham Pauley, he punished a baseball. It's an RBI double. Only 1 run though because Javier was actually cut down at home. That is a really nice relay from Ronald into the infield, and then obviously home plate. Jacob Marcy, he's been so good. That batting average is slowly getting back up there. He has 7 stolen bases and a .380 on base his last 8 games. The thing is, Dom Smith, he won't stop producing. He has 12 RBIs now. Obviously, Drake Baldwin has him beat because he leads the team with now 18 RBIs. He hustled around for a double. Matt Olson, this is a crazy stat. He has now played in 800 games in a row. That is the 11th longest streak in MLB history. So back-to-back doubles. They're trading places. It's 4-3. But now it's back to a 2-run game as Otto Lopez. This dude is so good. I just thought he was going to be like a, thefty little guy who plays good defense. No, the pop is coming along. Pete Fairbanks, he's in to close. but he's lost a few games already for the Marlins, and he left the ball on a tee. Well, it wasn't a close, by the way. It was the 8th inning. He tried to get like a 4-out save. Dom Smith on a tee, a base-clearing double. I'm so happy for him because he was almost written out of the game of baseball. He has 15 RBIs while batting .395. Raisel Iglesias, he has 100 saves as a Brave. They're now 11-7. The Marlins, they're fighting. They're 9-9. So we just talked about how Pete Fairbanks has blown a few games. The closing pitcher for the Brewers, McGill, he's, okay, his manager was not happy with the fan base. Let's just say that. I don't know what to say about Jake Bauers because I don't know if he's going to be able to keep this up. He's always had skill, but he never can find a season-long groove. He pops off and then goes cold for a month. I mean, to his credit, that's 5 home runs already, and he has a 120 OPS plus his last 100 games. They're calling him Agent Zero in Toronto. Andres Jimenez, he just scored the first run off the Miz with his 3rd home run. Now, the Miz, he came out for the 6th, and Varsho, he vanquished the Miz as well. So it's a 1-run game. Bauers and Gary, they did it again. They seem to homer in every game the other does. So Gary, I believe he's up to 4 or 5. I can't exactly, I did forget to check. I'm sorry. But Vladdy, he got that run back. It's an RBI grounder. Now, I hinted at this in the intro. Milwaukee fans destroyed Trevor McGill because Okamoto, he just made it 4-4. At a baby, he's been really slowing down, so it's good to see him get fired back up. Andres, he got undressed as a verb because Bryce Terang stole a hit from him. It was a web gem, but it's still an RBI for Andres, so that's a go-ahead. And now it's 6-4. Ernie Clement, he did his thing. Okamoto is in. Hoffman, he's been dominating lately. He's got 18 strikeouts in a small amount of innings, but he's also prone to imploding. Bryce Terang, he saved a base hit and maybe even more RBIs, and now he's driving in runs. So the Jays, they're kind of panicking. They intentionally walk Jake Bauers. Good idea. They get the speedster Brandon Lockridge, but Brandon locked in. It's 6-6. Free baseball it is. We're heading to extras. Vladdy. Oh, I thought that was gone, but that's off the wall. It's an RBI double. He had 1 extra base hit and 9 hits total his first 11 games. He has 4 extra base hits and 10 hits total his last 5. So they intentionally walk someone else to get to Miles Straw. Basically the same thing that just happened to the Brewers with Lockridge, and deja vu happened. A speedster got a double, 9 runs for the Jays. The Brewers did get 1 in the 10th, but that's all she wrote as Gary couldn't check. The Jays are 7-9. The Brewers, whoa, they're 8-8 after losing their last 6. And now fans, again, they're raining down boos on the closing pitcher, Trevor McGill. And the manager has a soft spot for McGill because he worked through injury last year, had 30 saves. He's been really good. And the manager was like, those are not our best fans. He's been pitching his butt off. He had 30 saves last year. I know he's not going to be our closing pitcher right now, and I get it. He's missing his spots and getting lit up, but he's a human. You guys are humans too. Enough. So I wonder how Brewers fans are going to take that. Michael King, ooh, this is a headache. The bases are loaded to the righty demolisher, Dominic Canzone. Good for Michael King. He kept it at 1, just a sac fly. Ramon the Rocket Laureano is back. His slugging percentage is so much higher in San Diego than it is for any team he's ever played for. So the infield's in for Nando after the triple, and that is his 400th career RBI. Just a simple approach going back up the middle. Merrill, he's on. He's stealing a base, so 2 ducks are on for Xander Bogaerts, and Jackson had an amazing read. He read his outfield before the play, so he knew that this was going to drop. It's a 2-run single for Xander Bogaerts. A 3-spot versus Brian Wu early, that is not easy. He's usually someone that cruises through the first and maybe gives up a run or 2 later in the game. Ty France, this is why that glove is gold. What a pick over there. He's won a gold glove or 2. I can't remember. Naylor, he had a fun play in return. He said, if you're going to get a web gem, I'm going to get one as well. A line drive double play. Michael King, he was awesome the rest of the way. 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts for a quality start. Jackson, he doubled ahead of Randy. Randy just missed that sliding grab. And Xander Bogaerts drove in his 2nd RBI, another poker. He had 3 base hits, 3 RBIs. So he has 7 RBIs his last 4 games. He's 1 home run away from 200 for his career. 14 doubles away from 400 doubles, and 161 base hits away from 2,000. He's 33 years old. Do you guys think that Xander has a chance at, let's say, what, 2,500 base hits, 500 doubles, 300 home runs? If he does that, he's probably going to make the Hall of Fame. Mason Miller only had 1 strikeout, but he now has 5 saves. The Padres, ooh, they're on a streak. They've won 6 in a row. Another recap in the books. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way until the end. If you did, I mean, you're a real one. Thank you so much. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek and Underdog Fantasy, and enjoy the web gems.
Uh-oh, softly served, center field, a diving attempt. Did Quan catch it? You bet he did. And it's a double play.
With each pitch that he throws, because there's thought behind it, there's intent behind it.
Whoa, a high throw.
Into center field, and that's DeLuca.
Pop that one into right field. Charging on Abreu, sliding ahead. And curveball hanger. popped up. Not an easy play. Cowser! He got his foot.
Didn't look good, though.
The line drive and to left, and it's caught.